It is Tuesday morning. Hello to all my sports card investor, collector, all of my collectibles friends. Thank you very much for joining me here for our weekly hobby news show. I always look forward to Tuesdays for this show in particular. It's awesome. So glad to be here with you all today. I hope everyone's having a good start to the week. If you are new to the channel, we go through collectibles, all sorts of different collectibles, kind of wrap it in a personal finance bow, talk about kind of some big picture stuff, as well as the nitty gritty details of all sorts of different collectibles, whether it be sports cards or comic books or starting lineups or action figures or whatever it is, NFTs, Top Shot. Love all the stuff. Love talking about it. So thanks very much for joining. Subscribe, hit that notification bell, karate chop it, as my son and daughter would say, and we will go ahead and dig into the weekly news, guys. All right, first off, it's hard to ignore the fact that the most expensive basketball card ever sold this week here recently, a 2003 LeBron James Exquisite, numbered out of 23, a BGS 9. That's what's funny, too. Think about that. It's a BGS 9. It sold for $5.2 million. If it is scarce and people want it, it doesn't need to be a PSA 10. It can be a BGS 9, and that's perfectly fine to be the most expensive basketball card ever purchased. Just an unbelievable sale. I mean, it ties that 52 Topps Mickey Mantle card that was just recently sold in the PSA 9 for $5.2 million as the most expensive sports card ever sold. So, wow. At the top of the hobby, at the top of the top, the creme de la creme, it's not slowing down there. That part is definitely increasing, and this is one where definitely an iconic card of LeBron James, but just it's a shocking figure, though, to be honest. I mean, it's a shocking figure, but there it is, 5.2 mil. I wasn't going to say anything, but I am the buyer. Just another 5 million, just shelled it out. You know, it's just like, you know what? I need that. I want that. I deserve that. I wish. All right, next, is there a more hot basketball player on the planet than Steph Curry right now? The guy is playing absolutely lights out. I mean, I don't think there will ever be another shooter quite like Steph Curry. If you watch some of the highlights, it's not as if he's just kind of like coming off of the pick and roll, getting a wide open shot and making it. I mean, it's three-pointers that don't even make sense. A lot of these baskets make no sense. He has no business in making them, and he just does. And I remember talking 6 months ago, kind of before we were leading into this NBA season, how it was going to be so exciting to have Steph back, Klay Thompson back, and the Warriors were going to be, they've got a high draft pick. They were going to have, they were going to have some say in the West. And unfortunately, Klay Thompson is out. And then, of course, James Wiseman, their high draft pick, he was actually playing well. He's out for the year. I believe he's out for the rest of the year. But so unfortunately, injuries have kind of derailed the Warriors. But could you imagine if they had Klay and Wiseman, playing? I mean, they would have a shot at it. They are making a push for the playoffs even without these guys. And I remember jokes in the beginning of the season, and it was all the memes of like, oh, it's hard to carry a team, Steph Curry, when you don't have 5 All-Stars on the team, when you don't have Durant, you don't have Klay Thompson, etc. And right now, he's just like, screw you guys. I can play basketball. He is just playing out of his mind. And so the question is that affecting his basketball cards? Are his basketball cards soaring? Because you would think the way that he's playing, based on performance, that his prices would be moving up. And I think the surprising thing is that they haven't really been here recently. And I'm going to show a graph of market movers first, making some comparisons between Bowman rookie, the Topps Chrome, and a couple of the Upper Deck rookies. And you can see that it's fairly, there's a little bit of movement, but it's kind of up and down. It's fairly flat. You would think that this would be a surge time for Steph Curry rookie cards. And I'm mainly looking at PSA 9 just because there's more transactions to look at in that grade. If you throw out PSA 10 up there, there's just not that many of them. So you're going to get kind of volatility naturally just because of the short supply. And I wanted to show just more transactions, cards with more transaction history. And those PSA 9s, man, they're not moving as much as you would think. And ironically, back when there was kind of a basketball card boom back in February, specifically if we're looking at the 2009 Topps and a PSA 9, there's 974 on the Pop Report. That card was up to $4,200 and change. at the end of February, and now there was a sale here recently that's under $3,000. And Steph is playing, over the last 30 days, he's played about perfect basketball. And this what kind of shows you, it's funny when we talk about just investing in sports cards, sometimes stuff just doesn't make any sense. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes guys are playing lights out basketball, leading their team to the playoffs, even when they really shouldn't be in the conversation, and nothing is happening with their cards. Steph Curry, and I said this 6 months ago, he is a generational player. He alone, I believe, is a big part of teams having kind of that three-point offensive game. Even when you have now bigs that shoot threes, I'm a believer that Steph Curry is kind of the guy that changed all that. He was a guy that came in, and the Warriors had kind of their spread offense, if you will, where it was like light, just raining. We're going to rain threes on you. We'll make a high enough percentage to beat you, and that's essentially what they have been doing for the last 10 years. And so Steph Curry just highly underappreciated. He's been playing like an absolute psychopath lately. Why isn't he getting more hobby love? Guys, tell me, am I missing something? Am I missing something with Steph Curry? Is that coming? Maybe the price increases are coming as we get closer to the postseason. Let me know your thoughts there. All right, Sports Collectors Daily, a great resource. They write up some good articles, great site. I'll put their link in the video description as well if you want to check them out. They had an article just kind of announcing that Luka Doncic has signed an exclusive auto mem deal with Panini. And this is kind of cool, actually. This is something that I can actually relate to a little bit. He is from Europe. My wife, I was born in Germany, lived in England before moving to the U.S. And then my wife was born in Italy. She was born and raised there and then came to the U.S. And she actually used to tell me that they would collect Panini stickers, and back in the 90s, and that's how she kind of that was her foray into cards, because there are sticker people over in Europe.
Kick off your collection now, featuring all 24 teams and the top players from across.
And this is the same Panini company, and so Luka was basically talking about how he had nostalgic feelings about Panini because of the stickers that he used to collect when he was growing up. And I saw a bunch of memes about his mom signing the autographs and all of that stuff. But I thought that was interesting news. It's something, Luka is one of those guys. He's a likable guy, and he plays lights out basketball. He's on an up-and-coming team with the Mavs. You can see they're one, maybe two pieces away from really getting in the thick of it in the West. And really, when you think about post-LeBron James NBA basketball, it's hard not to think that Luka and these Mavs, and I don't think Mark Cuban's going to let him leave in free agency, and I don't think he wants to, frankly. But Mark Cuban's going to do everything possible to keep him in Dallas. And I think he's going to have a Dirk Nowitzki-like long tenure in Dallas. I think it's going to be, he spends the majority of his career, I'm speculating, of course, but I just have this feeling he's going to be with the Mavs for a long time. And he's just a likable kid that is doing all the right things. He is playing great basketball, so he's hard not to like. And I think that he is kind of, and a lot of people look, that's why his cards are expensive. Everyone's kind of pegged him as he is the guy. He is the next face of the league, the way that his game is. It just translates well, and just his image and everything else. Good to see that Luka has got this deal done, and you can find all of your stuff. Obviously, Panini is going to have no shortage of auto and mem cards of Luka here coming up in the years to come. On the auto mem front, Tom Brady had recently signed a deal with Fanatics, a new autograph deal, and man, autographs have gone up so much in price. It also says in this article, too, that he does do private signings as well, but if you want a signed helmet or a jersey, the auto alone is $2,000. And that price has moved up. I mean, who knows? That price might continue to increase. But man, that's serious money for an autograph. Then Tom Brady, obviously, the goat of football, making some bank, signing autographs. One thing that was interesting in this article too, is they mentioned that Tom Brady has said he will not sign trading cards or tickets. So, which tells me that kind of makes the trading cards that have already been signed by Tom Brady, which are probably fairly limited, even more scarce if he's just not signing cards. If he's not signing cards for fans, then that's kind of a big deal. And maybe that's part of kind of his deal that he has with the manufacturers, with autos. But that's kind of cool. It's kind of like MJ's autographs. You know, they are more scarce just because they're just not as he's not signing a bunch of stuff every year. All right, guys, what did you think of sports card hobby news this week? What are you excited about? What are you buying? Talk to me in the comments section. Thank you very much for joining me again. Positive message at the end of the video is, hey guys, just keep on going. Know that you are awesome. Know that you will get through this. This is just a blip, this pandemic that we are going through. We are going to get through it. Keep on staying positive and believing in yourself, even when it's hard to believe in yourself, frankly, because sometimes, I mean, we all kind of, we all have those days where it's just tough. Don't be so hard on yourself. Keep on pressing, keep on pushing, and we will see you again next time. We'll talk to you later.